Picture a normal family, not rich, not poor, just modern, two working parents, a nice house in a safe neighborhood, two cars in the driveway, kids in good schools. From the outside, this family looks like success. They did everything right, they went to college, they built careers, they worked hard, they followed the rules. But behind the front door, something feels off. There is no money in their savings account. Every paycheck is already spent before it arrives. The mortgage, the cars, the childcare, the credit cards, everything is on autopilot. They are always tired, always behind, always one small emergency away from panic. And the strange part is this: they make more money than their parents ever did. They make more money than their grandparents ever dreamed of. So why do they feel poorer? Why does life feel harder, more fragile, more stressful than it did 50 years ago? How did we end up working twice as much asterisk and feeling asterisk half as secure? That question is the doorway into one of the biggest financial lies of modern life. The lie that asterisk two incomes made us safer asterisk. They didn't, they made us trapped. Let's rewind. Not to some fantasy world, not to a time without problems, just to the 1970s. Back then, most middle-class families looked like this: one income, one car, one mortgage, one parent at home. Not because people were lazy, because one income was enough to run a life. Dad worked, mom stayed home, or mom worked, dad stayed home. Either way, one income paid the bills. They weren't rich. But they were asterisk asterisk stable asterisk asterisk. The house was modest, the car was simple, vacations were rare, but they had something modern families don't: margin, room to breathe. If the job was lost, they didn't lose the house instantly. If someone got sick, life didn't collapse. There was a backup plan built into the system. Now fast forward to today: two incomes, two cars. Two commutes, daycare, after-school programs, DoorDash, higher taxes, bigger houses, bigger debts, everything doubled except peace. The modern family makes far more money, but every dollar is already spoken for. The second income didn't make families richer, it made them qualify for more debt. The bank didn't see two incomes and say, "Great, now you can save more." They said, "Great, now you can borrow more," and families listened. They bought the bigger house. They leased the nicer cars, they moved into the better school district. Their lifestyle expanded to absorb every dollar they earned, and suddenly the second income wasn't a safety net. It was required to survive. Here's what no one ever shows you: the second income looks big on paper. Let's say one parent earns $60,000 a year. That sounds like real money. But now let's subtract reality. First, taxes. At that income level, most families lose 20–25% right off the top. So $60,000 becomes about $45,000. Then comes the big one: childcare. Full-time daycare in the US averages between $15,000 and $22,000 per year per child. Let's be conservative: $18,000. Now we're down to $27,000. Next, the second car. You need it because two people are commuting: car payment, gas, insurance, maintenance. That's easily $10,000 per year. Now you're at $17,000. Now add the invisible stuff: work clothes, work lunches, coffee, eating out because you're exhausted, DoorDash because no one has time to cook. That adds another $7,000 to $8,000 a year. Now you're left with about $9,000. The family just traded asterisk 2000 hours of a parent's life asterisk asterisk for asterisk asterisk $750 per month. That's it. Not freedom, not wealth, just enough money to barely notice. Here is the tragedy. The second income was never supposed to be the main income. It was supposed to be the asterisk asterisk backup plan asterisk. If someone got laid off, the other income kept the lights on. If someone got sick, the family didn't collapse, but families did something dangerous. They used the second income to qualify for a bigger life. They didn't save it, they spent it in advance. They used it to buy a bigger house, a nicer neighborhood, more expensive cars, a higher fixed cost lifestyle. So now if one income disappears, everything falls apart. The mortgage still exists. The car loans still exist. The daycare still exists. The bills don't shrink. There is no margin, no buffer, no plan B. The backup income became the main support beam. And when that beam cracks, the whole house comes down. This is why modern families feel so fragile. Dual-income households have higher debt, higher fixed costs, higher financial stress. They look rich, but they're brittle. When one income disappears, they don't have flexibility. They have obligations, and obligations don't care about your job. People say we need both incomes, but what they really mean is we need both incomes to support the life we built. The problem isn't income, the problem is lifestyle. Two incomes didn't make families safe, they made families dependent, and dependency is the opposite of freedom. There is a story that never makes it into lifestyle blogs, never appears on Instagram, and never gets told by banks. The story is simple: wealthy families don't live on everything they earn. They live on far less. You don't see it because wealth doesn't announce itself with granite countertops or German cars. It announces itself with silence, no panic, no scrambling. No paycheck to paycheck anxiety, just margin. The modern middle class was taught to do the opposite. We were taught if you earn more, you should live better. The wealthy were taught if you earn more, you should live the same. That difference is everything. Because wealth is not built by what you buy, it is built by what you don't buy. The foundation of every financially unbreakable family is one rule: your fixed life must fit on one income, not two. One, that means if tomorrow one paycheck disappears, nothing breaks. The house still gets paid, the cars still run, the groceries still get bought, the lights stay on, the family still functions. The second income is not used to survive. It is used to build. This is how wealthy families operate quietly while everyone else feels constantly one crisis away from collapse. Two incomes were supposed to create safety. Instead, they created fragility. Here's why: when a family earns one income, the entire life is built around that number: housing, cars, food, insurance. Everything fits inside that box. When the second income arrives, it feels like a gift at first, but instead of being saved, it is used to expand the box. Bigger house, better neighborhood. More expensive schools, newer cars, more subscriptions. Now the family needs both incomes just to stand still. The backup plan becomes the plan, the parachute becomes the runway. And suddenly there is no safety net left. Banks love dual-income households because two incomes qualify for more debt. More debt means bigger mortgages, longer loans, more interest, more profit. The bank doesn't care how stressed you are. They only care how much they can lend. When both spouses work, the bank can lend more, so they do, and the family becomes leveraged to the ceiling. A one-income fortress is not about being poor, it is about being hard to kill financially. It is a life designed around low fixed costs, high savings, high flexibility, high optionality. The goal is simple. No single event should be able to destroy my family. That is how wealthy people think. There are three layers. Layer 1: survival, housing, food, utilities, insurance, transportation. These must fit on one income. Layer 2: defense, emergency fund, no consumer debt. This absorbs shocks. Layer 3: growth, investments, businesses, skill building. This builds the future. Most families skip layers 1 and 2. They jump straight to consumption. That's why they collapse. Let's say a household earns $120,000 per year, two incomes of $60,000 after tax. That's about $90,000. If they design their life to cost $90,000, they need both incomes forever. If one job disappears, income drops to $45,000. Expenses stay at $90,000. They are bankrupt in months. But if they design their life around $45,000, they are unbreakable. In wealthy families, the second income is sacred. It is not spent, it is deployed. Use to build cash, destroy debt, buy assets, buy time. It is what turns workers into owners. It is what turns jobs into options. Most people say we could never live on one income. But that's not true. They could. They just don't want to give up the lifestyle the second income bought. And that's the trap. You don't need two incomes to live. You need two incomes to maintain the life you inflated. That is not the same thing. The transition always starts the same way. You stop asking, what can we afford, and start asking, what can we remove? Every dollar of fixed cost you remove buys you freedom forever. Car payments, big houses, subscriptions, luxury spending, each one is a chain. Break enough of them and suddenly one income is enough. The day a family realizes we don't need both incomes, something breaks open, fear disappears, stress drops, arguments decrease, because now life is no longer fragile, now it is stable. Now it is strong. This is the quiet secret that separates the rich from the stressed. When wealthy families earn a second income, they do not upgrade their lives, they upgrade their balance sheet. They do not buy nicer things, they buy time. The second income becomes a weapon, a shield, a lever. It is never allowed to touch the lifestyle. Because the moment it touches lifestyle, it disappears forever. And once it disappears, you become dependent on it. That is how people become trapped. Most families use their second income like oxygen. Wealthy families use it like fuel. One keeps you alive, the other moves you forward. This is the difference between surviving and compounding. In a one-income fortress, the second income is automatically divided into four missions. One: emergency power. The first job of the second income is to create a cash buffer. 6 months, 12 months. More if possible. This is what breaks the fear of losing a job. Fear disappears when you can survive without a paycheck. 2: debt destruction. Debt is the enemy of freedom. Every dollar of consumer debt is a future paycheck already spent. Wealthy families use the second income to kill credit cards, kill car loans, kill personal loans. Debt removal is a guaranteed return on investment. If your credit card charges 20% interest, paying it off is a 20% risk-free return. Nothing in the stock market can beat that. 3. Ownership. Once debt is gone and cash exists, the second income is turned into ownership. Stocks, businesses, real estate, side income, anything that pays you back. This is how you escape trading time for money. 4. Time. Buying. The richest families don't buy luxury, they buy time. They pay for house cleaning, childcare, meal prep, business outsourcing. They use money to get life back. Freedom is not created by how much you earn, it is created by how much you don't need. When your expenses are low and your savings are high, you cannot be controlled. You can walk away, you can wait, you can say no. This is real power. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you need. The wider the gap, the more powerful you are. No margin equals desperation. High margin equals choice. Every wealthy person understands this. Every broke person ignores it. This is not magic, it is engineering. Step 1. Track reality. Write down every bill, every payment, every subscription. Most people don't know where their money goes. That ignorance is expensive. Step 2. Kill the biggest chains. Start with car payments, credit cards, big subscriptions. These are the things that enslave you to two incomes. Step 3. Shrink the house if needed. Housing is the biggest trap. If it requires two incomes, it owns you. Step 4. Stack cash before investing. Build a safety net. Cash equals courage. Step 5. Redirect the second income. Once your life fits on one income, every dollar from the second becomes your escape fund. The moment you are no longer financially fragile, something changes inside you. You stop tolerating bad bosses, you stop fearing layoffs, you stop panicking, you become calm. Calm people make good decisions. No recession can break it, no job loss can destroy it, no emergency can wipe it out, because it was built to survive, not to impress. The hardest part of building a one-income fortress is not math, it's ego. Downsizing feels like failure. Driving an older car feels embarrassing. Living below what you could afford feels wrong. But here is the truth: wealth is invisible, debt is loud. The world only sees what you spend, never what you own. People don't stay stuck because they don't know what to do. They stay stuck because they don't want to look different. They want the same house, the same car, the same lifestyle, the same approval, but freedom requires being willing to be uncommon. Families who live on one income describe the same things. The stress disappears. Arguments about money fade, sleep improves, fear goes away, one parent becomes optional, life slows down. You stop feeling hunted by bills, you start feeling in control. True wealth does not feel exciting, it feels quiet. No overdrafts, no panic, no paycheck countdown, just space, space to breathe. Space to think, space to choose. Recessions come, layoffs happen, markets crash. But a family that can live on one income cannot be destroyed. They bend, they adjust, they survive. Everyone else breaks. Two incomes created the illusion of wealth. One income creates real freedom. Build a life that doesn't need both, and suddenly you own your time, you own your choices. You own your future. That is the one income fortress.